What is up? My name is GARRETT Yogurt on Twitter, YOOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the Now Notation YouTube channel. Welcome back to another album review. Today we are talking about Comethazine's third mixtape in the series of Bawskee. Maybe a sophomore album, depending on how you want to look at it, but this is none other than Bawskee 3.5, and you know, this is just more Comethazine. There's nothing really changing here, but one thing that is a standout to me is the fact that you have no features on this thing. And I think that's pretty consistent with Bawskee too. There wasn't much, if any, on there. But you know, you have this thing just sitting at around 22 minutes in length with 12 tracks. So every track is around a minute and some change. But when you really look at Comethazine's approach to music, as well as just how he even did the freshman cover, like with his freestyle as well as his cypher, like, you don't need a fucking 4-minute song from this guy. You don't need much of any storytelling going on. But if that was given to me, I don't know how I would take it. I am interested to kind of see that eventually grow into where he is making kind of like a more narrative project, or maybe just some like abstract concept album that, like, I don't know, like I would see interest in that if he actually just straight out was attempting to do something that was a little bit more out of the box. But if you are just looking for like a bunch of trap bangers, or a bunch of just like, he really does kind of go through the different facets of like what a club quote unquote banger, or what like a trap anthem quote unquote would sound like. He goes through all the different variants of that and kind of hits different styles from different areas. There's some songs that sound like super West Coast via the beats. And then there's other ones where it just sounds like it's coming out of like the Florida movement. And Comethazine's kind of just a wild card. And apparently, since this is the final installation to the Bawskee franchise or series, if you will, going forward, I am interested to see him collaborate with bigger people, because everything that he has done across these three projects has been just really fucking cool and really interesting. And while I don't think we've ever seen something on Bawskee 2 or 3.5 ever hit the same levels of like the greatness that is Bawskee 1, which is like, you know, you have songs like Run and just a bunch of other fucking great cuts. You have Hero on there. You have the song with Ugly God. There's just a bunch of really good tracks on that thing. You have Demi, like so many good cuts on the Bawskee 1 mixtape. But when you look at that, that was really just a collection of stuff that he was putting out for the past like year or so. So of course you're never going to hit that momentum again, when, or at least you're not going to have the opportunity to have a collection of just these hits after hits after hits, trial and error, you know what I mean? Like, eventually it's all going to funnel down and bottleneck to just making projects. And, you know, as far as finishing out a franchise or a little a collection of mixtapes, I feel like this was a good ass fucking entry and a good book end to it. Let's jump into the track list. You got track number 1, Hench Mafia. Track number 2 is Respucia. Track number 3 is God Don't Like Ugly, best track title of the year. Track number 4 is Find Him. Track number 5 is Stand. Track number 6 is Solve the Problem. Track number 7 is No Evidence. Track number 8 is Dangerous. Track number 9 is Fuck Everybody. Track number 10 is Just Saying. Track number 11 is Act. Track number 12 is Touched. You know, standout tracks for me, this is tough because I really do enjoy all of them. They're so quick that they really do just run with each other, and I've had trouble trying to not let the album just kind of play multiple times, or just let like one song and then it just rolls into another and you almost don't notice, because it's pretty smooth with the way that it does play out. But again, one thing that I have found is the collection of beats on here does range of different styles and does range of different sounds, not necessarily of like different genres. It definitely stays within like very straightforward hip hop, but the cartoon like character of Comethazine is really what shines here to complement those beats. But again, the range isn't so crazy to where it doesn't take you by surprise, but it is some of the best Comethazine as far as just like funny ass lines. There's always something about coming on a girl's eyelids, and it's just ridiculousness personified through lyrics. And it's almost like, have you ever been in a situation where it's like, oh dude, don't go there? Like, that is what Comethazine does every single time. Is this, he's the guy who is going there and is saying those things, and like the way that he does tackle like just whether it's his hate for the police or just running from them, or just the overall just like domestic like home invasion type sounds that he puts out, to where it's like he just sounds like he's running through a neighborhood like thieving cars and shit, and it's beautiful. It really is. And it's such a weird like super unique approach, I feel like, to a very samey sound that could just not work and be corny. But Comethazine has done a great job. But standout tracks for me, like I said, it is tough, but Hench Mafia, the opening track is great. Find Him is another fantastic one. No Evidence, that is actually his Cypher verse from the XXL cover series. So there's that. Dangerous, I believe, is the one that I was thinking of with the West Coast style. It definitely sounds like Sage the Gemini should like jump on it, or like I Am Sue, and I really fuck with that song a lot. I believe Act is one of those songs where it's a little weird because he kind of goes a little bit melodic, and if it's not Act, it might be Touch, but it starts like a little bit slower and stuff, and it almost is like, what's going on here for a second, because I never caught him really ever approaching that, but then it just goes back to more like bouncing off of butt cheeks and shit, and the shit that you know for him. So he almost never fully commits to like going a little bit more serious or like straightforward, and it really kind of shows like the whole idea of like Persona's playing into the rap game, and Persona's really carrying like the character of like who is putting out the albums. Like, it is a character by the name of Comethazine in this case, like very straightforwardly, and I love it. I love like the commitment. It's almost like an Oliver Tree level, just not so fucking like meta and just in your face of like, this is a character. It's like he knows that it's a character. I don't know if I want to have a conversation with him that is not about rap at all or anything that he raps about. I just want to have a conversation about like nature for a second and see what's up, because he's a funny ass guy, I can already tell. Find Him's really cool. Want to shout that out again. I'm having trouble shouting out the songs that have had videos. I haven't been paying too much attention to the Bawskee TV, but I know Stand has a really cool video, so if you want to go check that out. And then Just Saying was like the only single that I really saw being promoted. That came out a week ago, and that was when I actually thought this, or 2 weeks ago, but either way, like that was when I thought this album was going to come out. And then it's almost like they waited for the rollout of the XXL cover, which probably was a smart idea, to just put a single out when the cover started like coming out, and then wait for all the ciphers and freestyles and stuff, and then put the album out the Friday after. Like that's a smart marketing move. So shout out to that. But yeah, I think this album is really fun, and it doesn't need to be anything more. And maybe that's why like my review is so short of words and not really going too deep. But yeah, well, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this album. Thank you so much for all the support on this channel. Go ahead and share this channel if you have someone who enjoys hip-hop and is looking for someone to just give their fucking dumb opinion, because I could be that guy. I'm always that guy. Hey, how's it going? But yeah, thank you again. Follow me on Twitter at YoGarrett, YoGRTT, Instagram as well. Now in rotation on those two platforms as well. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, that is all, folks.